Hey there. So you're a skilled handyman, you do great work, but maybe your phone isn't ringing as much as it should be. The problem might not be your work at all. It could actually be your website. So today, we're going to dive into some simple, really practical fixes to turn your website from just an online brochure into your #1 tool for booking more jobs. So let's just ask the tough question right up front. Is your website actively working for you, bringing in new clients? Or is it actually getting in the way? Answering that honestly is really the first step to making a huge change in your business. I want you to think of your website as a bucket, okay? You're trying to fill that bucket with potential customers who land on your site. But for so many businesses, that bucket is just full of holes. And every single person who gets confused or frustrated or can't find what they need, that's a potential job leaking right out every single day. So our first job here is to find those leaks. We need to get a handle on why customers are leaving your site in the first place. And usually it just comes down to a mismatch between what they expect and what your website actually gives them. It's a pretty simple disconnect when you break it down. Customers, whether they're in the US, the UK, or Australia, they all want the same basic things: speed, clarity, and a site that just plain works on their phone. But way too often, what they find is the exact opposite. And that gap, that's the biggest leak in your bucket. All right, let's start patching those leaks, shall we? The very first patch, and maybe the most important, is all about building trust the second someone lands on your page. If they don't trust you within a few seconds, they're gone. Online, first impressions are literally everything. So how do you build that trust, like instantly? Well, it really just boils down to these 3 things. A visitor needs to know right away: 1, that you offer the service they're looking for; 2, that you do high-quality work; and 3, that other people agree you do high-quality work. Let's break each of those down. First step, clarity. A potential client with a leaky faucet doesn't have time to play detective on your website. Your homepage has to shout, loud and clear, what you do. Repairs, installations, maintenance, put it right there front and center. Do not make them guess. And this brings us to a super important point about photos. Stock images are a trust killer. Seriously, seeing some generic actor in a hard hat actually hurts your credibility. People want to see your real work. Before and after photos, that's powerful, tangible proof that you've got the skills to get the job done right. This is what we call social proof. In a competitive market, just seeing that other real people have hired you and were happy, that is a massive trust signal. Displaying your star rating or a couple of glowing testimonials can be the one thing that makes somebody choose you over the other guy. And finally, here's a simple but often overlooked trust factor: just keeping your website current. Come on, if the last photo you posted was from 5 years ago, it kind of sends a signal that you might not even be in business anymore. Fresh photos and up-to-date service listings show you're active, professional, and ready to get to work. Okay, so you've built their trust, the customer's interested. Now what? Well, the next step is to make it ridiculously easy for them to take action. You have to guide them directly from, I'm interested, to you're hired. One of the best ways to do this is by clearly outlining your process. People hesitate when they don't know what to expect. A simple 3-step visual like this one removes all that uncertainty. It tells them exactly what happens next, which builds their confidence and makes them way more likely to move forward. Now for a critical element, the call to action, or CTA. This is the button that tells a visitor exactly what you want them to do next. Call now, get a quote, whatever it is, it needs to be big, bold, and on every single page of your site. A customer should never, ever have to hunt for a way to contact you. And that leads us right to the contact page itself. You want to make this a one-stop shop for getting in touch. Your phone number should be huge. Put your email there. And listing your service areas is crucial so people know if you actually work in their neighborhood. Oh, and a simple contact form makes it super easy for them to just send a quick message. For our final patch, let's talk about getting found in the first place. You can build all the trust in the world and make it easy to get in touch, but none of that matters if people can't find you. This is all about making sure you show up when local customers start searching online. The key to winning local search is to speak your customer's language. When someone needs a handyman, they don't just search for handyman. They search for handyman in Sydney or plumbing repair near me. Weaving these specific, location-based phrases right into your website's text is absolutely essential for showing up in those search results. Now think about where these searches are happening. The vast majority of your potential clients, they're searching on their phones. Why? Well, often it's an urgent problem that needs fixing now. So if your website is broken or pain to use on a phone, you're pretty much invisible to most of your customers. And the final piece of the search puzzle is speed. It's really simple. Slow websites lose jobs. Period. If your site takes more than a few seconds to load, people will get frustrated and just hit that back button. Compressing your images and keeping your site design clean is critical for keeping them around. So let's pull all of this together. By patching these really common leaks, you can absolutely transform your website from a passive, leaky bucket into a powerful, automated tool that actively generates jobs for your business. Here's the entire formula right here at a glance. It's 3 simple steps. First, build trust with real photos and real reviews. Second, drive action with a clear process and unmissable contact buttons. And finally, win the search battle by being local, mobile-friendly, and fast. That's the whole game plan. So I'll end with this one thought. You work hard every single day with your hands to get the job done right. So is your website working just as hard for you? If the answer is no, then it's time to pick up the tools and make a change. Thanks for tuning in.